What motivated you to start LTD?
I was in car sales. I started off in car sales, which is actually how I met your dad. I ended up doing pretty well in car sales, and so I did that for right around 6 years, but I was 4 years in, and then I realized that making money is not the way to actually become wealthy. And so I grew up super poor, and I was always told that once you make six figures, then all right, now that's like where real wealth is. That's how you become financially free. That's the way that, you know, that's like rich. And so I had a misconception about what rich was. And so that's what got me into real estate was a book that my business partner, Tony, actually had me read, which was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And if anybody has not read that, I definitely recommend that they read that book because that's like a book that has made more millionaires than any other book, in my opinion, or at least from what I've heard from all these people. So that book talked about basically financial freedom in the sense of time. Time is money, and how much time you actually have to do things is more important than necessarily just the money you make. And I never saw it like that. I was just like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes in order to make the money that I want to make. But then if you don't have any time to actually use the money, then it doesn't really matter anyway. Also, it talks a lot about money that you actually get to keep as opposed to the money that you gross, because there's a big difference in that. And when you're a W-2 and employee, you are going to gross a lot, but then your biggest expense, everybody thinks their biggest expense is their house. Your biggest expense is always taxes. And so whenever you start a business, you can get your time back. You can also then start to, with the tax code, start to change the amount of taxes that you're going to pay based on the assets that you buy. It's more of a strategy, whereas when you're a W-2, it just kind of is what it is. They take it out right up front. And so that was the biggest reason, was financial freedom and then actually getting my time back.
All right, nice. So I guess starting out with LTD, what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced?
Starting off, shoot, dude, that feels like a while ago now. It says 6 years ago, the biggest challenges we faced when we first started. I would say the biggest thing is certainty. When you don't know how something's going to go, you have to take your best guess, right? And so you have to get all the information that you possibly can, and you have to be willing to take a jump in, even though you have no idea how it's going to go. That's a very scary thing. But once you start to develop that skill set, dude, then sky's the limit, because now you can take that into every other area of your life. And so that was, in my opinion, the biggest hump. Which the nice thing is, a lot of car sales kind of taught me about that anyway. We don't know how everything's going to go. I was 100% commission when I was in car sales. So I already had a taste of that. And so I already had some certainty of, I will figure it out when I get in the situation. But that was the biggest hurdle, was like buying rental properties, hearing all of this, like, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? And everybody's like telling you all these different things. You're like, shoot, dude, I don't know. I think I'll figure it out though. And just taking the information and making the best decision that you possibly can. But I would say that was the biggest hurdle that I felt, just being scared to jump in and make a decision and buy properties.